Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Arsenal Way. And yes, we are here with your post-match reaction for Arsenal versus Leicester City. An excellent 4-2 win for the Gunners. I'm joined by Umar Choudhry on this very, very hot day, I must say, in London anyway, to discuss the win. Umar, how are you, mate? And secondly, what a win.
That was fun, wasn't it, Bailey? That
Yeah.
was fun indeed. I think, yeah, what a fantastic performance. The weather's shining, but the goals are raining in. I think in terms of the performance and in terms of what Arsenal done today this afternoon. But overall, I think the boys done a very good job. At times with Leicester pegging Arsenal back, a few times on the other occasion, obviously with the own goal via William Saliba and then James Maddison, the mentality of the team to keep on going, keep on pushing, and that's a big thing I think for this Arsenal team, because I think last season it could have been a bit nervy at times. But I think Mikel Arteta, what he's embedded in this Arsenal squad for the past few seasons, it is working now, and you're seeing it. There's always going to be bad moments. There's always going to be experiences where the opposing teams are going to cause problems. What then you need to show is character, personality, and I thought Arsenal showed it in abundance. William Saliba, I thought he was first class. Aside from that own goal, I don't want to hear opposing fans be talking, "Oh, he scored an own goal." Watch his performance. I thought he was like a Rolls Royce. I think at the heart of the defense, and what I loved, he scored that own goal. Yeah, it was a difficult moment, but the fans applauded him, Bailey. The fans
Mhm.
pushed him on, and you've never seen that in terms of the Emirates crowd. So there's something changing, there's something happening within this fan base, within this club at the moment. And Gabriel Jesus as well. Like, ah,
Mhm.
what a player,
Of
Bailey.
course.
So yeah, I'm over the moon.
Over the moon. Of course, I don't think we can talk about any individuals before we mention the name of Gabriel Jesus. Just what a performance! I was seeing shades of R9 in his game today. It was for me. It wasn't the two goals, Emo. It was the third. It was the third chance he had when he almost got a hat trick when Ndidi made the last ditch tackle. The fact that he was able to hold off the defender and still spin and get the opportunity, I think that just epitomized what a player he is. He's got strength, he's got pace, he's got skill, and he's got to finish the match. He's literally the complete number 9, isn't he?
You know what? The only thing I regret, Bailey, I didn't captain him on my
Yeah.
FPL team. That's the thing I regret, because
Yeah.
I captained Haaland
Same.
thinking, oh, it's Bournemouth. Man City are gonna wipe the floor, which they did, and Haaland's gonna grab a couple of goals. But I'm never gonna make that mistake again, because I think Gabriel Jesus, he probably been thinking to all the fans who doubted him, like, you
Mhm.
should have captained me. But overall, again, what you just touched on, a fantastic performance. But I don't even think that's his best. I think there's more to come, Bailey.
Yeah.
I think he could
Yeah.
have scored about 4 or 5 goals in that match. If
Mhm.
he hit the woodwork, he had a couple of shots saved by Ward, but he was always a threat. He was always linking well with, I think, Granit Xhaka. Again, fantastic performance. There was a lot said about Yuri Tielemans before the game, but I think Granit Xhaka probably told Mikel Arteta, Yuri Tielemans, who you've got a
Mm.
player here, and I'm the man for this position. But I thought Granit Xhaka was fantastic again, a great performance, deserved his goal. But I think we need to give credit to Gabriel Martinelli.
Yeah.
Fantastic performance, Bailey, because he had Wesley Fofana on the ropes. And if you got Todd Bowley or Thomas Tuchel watching that game, they'd be thinking 80, 90 million on Wesley Fofana. I don't know about that, but I'm expecting a big season from Gabby, because there's something special with Gabriel Martinelli. I think in the past few seasons, you've seen the potential, you've
Mhm.
seen the talent, but I think this is the season where you're going to see him just explode. But I'm over the moon. I know we conceded 2 goals, and that could be a negative. But Mick Arteta spoke yesterday in his Abaga press conference, and he was touching on William Saliba. And he said what we need to understand and what we need to accept, these are young players. They're
Mhm.
21, 22, 23. They are going to make mistakes. But what you need to do, you need to believe in them. You need to trust them, because they will come out on the other side after making these mistakes. And I think William Saliba showed that. Scored an own goal, but his head didn't drop. He continued with his performance, and I think that's the sign of a truly world class player. So yeah, I'm buzzing.
Absolutely. I think Saliba's performance was better after the own
Yeah,
goal, even before. And I think that just highlights again the strong mentality he has. And He was fearless. He was fearless. I know once a player scores an own goal, the head will be down. They might not want to show for the ball. Their tackles, they might be a bit hesitant when they're going in for a tackle. But Saliba literally stepped up and bullied that Patson Daka when he came onto the pitch. He literally bullied him. That's how good he was. So Saliba highlights his excellent mentality. Martinelli, of course, another player. I believe before today, 8 of his 12 goals were scored away from home. So now he's starting to score goals at home and away from home as he scored against Crystal Palace. I think it's going to be a big, big season for Gabby Martinelli. Of course, the World Cup is coming up in November, so that link up with him and Jesus could definitely help him. But Umar, let's touch on Yuri Tielemans. Is it fair to judge him on this game? Because looking at this game, he looked like a chicken in front of headlights. I think he struggled. Of course, he got hooked around the 50 to 60th minute. It wasn't the greatest of games, was it?
It wasn't, but it's not really surprising. I'm not
Mm,
really shocked that he was quiet. I know a lot's going to be said, but it was quite funny after he got substituted and the Arsenal fans were singing, "We'll see you at the Emirates next week," which I thought was a good touch. But I think him having a bad performance against a very good Arsenal team right now, it's not something bad towards him.
mm,
It can happen. I think right now Arsenal are looking like a threat, and they'll probably blow most teams away at the Emirates Stadium because there's something there when they come at home, and when opposing teams come to the Emirates. Arsenal just look scary. They look like what Man City do when they play at the Etihad, and when you have Bournemouth, Fulham, all these teams
mm-hmm,
going to the Etihad. And I think Arsenal are starting to do something special at home. But in terms of Yuri Tillemans, again, bad games can happen.
mm-hmm,
But what I like about Granit Xhaka, just going back to Granit Xhaka, the positions that he's picking up on this left centre mid position, I don't really think you. It's a bit difficult to say, but Yuri Tillemans is a good player. But if we want to improve on Granit Xhaka, I'm still thinking
mobility.
someone like Lucas Paqueta,
Mm-hmm,
because mobility as well is a big
mm-hmm,
thing for me. Granit Xhaka, the amount of good positions that he picks up, at times he can do a lot more, but I think that's just a bit down to his own game, and sometimes he has limitations. It's not down to him as a quality as a football player, but I think if we can improve, maybe Yuri Tillemans not might not be that player for that left
mm.
centre mid position. But just going by today's game, I think we can't really judge him because right now Arsenal are a threat, and like we touched on yesterday on the Team Predictor show, Leicester City, there's something not right. I think at the King Power. So I think more credit needs to go to Arsenal rather than just looking solely on Yuri Tillemans' performance.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think it is. It's impossible to judge him. Of course, his head might not also be all there due to the
Yeah.
recent speculation as well as a hot day. Leicester. It was a tough game for Leicester. They're not on the
Mm.
greatest of forms right now, so I agree with you. It would be hard to judge Tielemans, but let's just judge Arsenal as a whole and back-to-back wins now. Umar, look, last season, Brentford, Chelsea, we started 2 games, 0 points. This year, we're doing a complete change around where it's 6 points in 2 games. And this is important, isn't it, for the start of the season, especially when you consider that we have a break mid-season. It's good to finish that break in the highest position possible. And you do that by having a great start, right?
100%. I think last season it showed towards the end of the season, those games at the start of the season, if we picked up a win, we would have probably got top four. But the fact that we didn't and we picked up 0 points out of those 3 games, I thought was a big detriment to
Mm,
Arsenal not getting into the Champions League. But right now, we started the season on fire, going to Crystal Palace away from home, first game of the season. It's not a really an easy proposition. But Arsenal handled it professionally, and it was an assured performance. Now, the following game, Leicester City. Again, while Leicester City are not having the best of moments right now, they're still a team with so much quality. You saw at times Jamie Vardy running in behind the defense. I'm not going to be touching on his diving skills because I think he could like compete with Tom Daly at that, if
oof.
I'm honest, because at times it was quite ridiculous. But
Yeah.
they've got quality players amongst their ranks: Wesley Fofana, Yuri Tillemans, James Maddison, Vardy. So scoring 4 goals against a Brendan Rodgers' team at home, I think some people need to start putting a bit of credit to what Arsenal
Absolutely.
are doing. I'm still hearing a lot of opposing fans, "Oh, Arsenal are not the real deal." But if we come away and just do our job and just keep blocking out the noise, and I think this could be a very successful season. And like you said, the next upcoming games, I think now we got Bournemouth, Fulham, Aston Villa. On paper, they seem like winnable games, so I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited too. It's impossible. I feel like not
Yeah.
to be excited right now because the team is booming. But I still want to touch on the personnel and let's talk about the fullback positions because it's an interesting situation. Of course, Ben White come off injured. Hopefully that is not too serious. But how do Tomiyasu and Zinchenko get back? Tierney, get back into this team if Ben White is still fit for the next game? Of course, how can they get back in? Can they get back in?
I'll be honest, I thought Ben White was fantastic
Absolutely.
today. I thought he was fantastic. And even in the first game against Crystal Palace, I thought he had a very solid game. But I think today it was a top performance from Ben White and in a position where he's not used to, right back. So to answer your question, I don't even know if I'm honest. How can you change a winning team, Bailey? To be honest, you can't. I think Zinchenko the, the, the guy is just
So
he's
important.
different. He's got the mentality so different with Zinchenko. And what I love about him, not even like what I love about Zinchenko, he's so dominant in the air. I saw it against Crystal Palace and I was quite surprised. But even against Leicester City, the aerial duels that he wins for quite I'm not going to say short guy,
Mhm.
but he is quite short when you talk about fullbacks, but he's so dominant in the air. So I know Tomiyasu came on. He picked up a yellow card as well towards the end of the game. But right now, you can't change a winning team, if I'm honest. Obviously, when the Europa League comes, the cup competitions comes like the Carabao Cup, you can obviously alternate and mix it up. But right now, we go to Bournemouth next week, and this is the team that starts for me because until I see otherwise, until I see players not performing to the best of their ability, then I can think, yeah, maybe we need to make some changes. But right now, no changes for me. We just keep the momentum going and we go to Bournemouth next Saturday.
Absolutely. I also believe, yeah, just touching back to Sinchenko, he's added a new element to our system. I believe he
Yeah,
plays in that midfield role rather than an out on left back, and it just works. It just works. It just gives. I think it gives Martin Odegaard more leverage to go to the right hand side where he's strongest. It gives Arsenal another outlet in midfield. Of course, they want to switch the play quickly, which Sinchenko's there, and I think he's crucial. He offers what Tierney can't, but at the same time, Tierney can also do what Sinchenko can. I think it's good to have that variation at the fullback positions, and I think that is really going to benefit Arsenal this season. But Umar, before we do end the show, of course, just your man in the match because in the comment section, I'm seeing shouts of Martinelli, I'm seeing shouts of Gabriel Jesus. Which side of the coin do you flip on, Mr.
it
Umar?
has to be Gabby
Yeah.
Jesus, Bailey. I think, yeah, scoring a brace against Leicester City, and not only that, what you touched on before, off the ball work, causing Johnny Evans, Wesley Fofana so many problems, linking up with Granit Xhaka, and he could have scored 4 or 5, if I'm honest. If he was a bit more clinical, if the luck was on his side, he would have taken probably 2 match balls home.
Mhm.
But I think Gabriel Jesus, I think Martinelli was fantastic. I think Saliba was fantastic. Um, I'm a bit cautious with Aaron Ramsdale.
Oh
Um,
yes, yeah.
just to put it in there, I think we need to see a bit more of him. Last season, at times he was inconsistent towards the end of the season. He made a good start to his Arsenal career, but we need to start seeing Ramsdale back to the best of his ability because I think that Madison goal, he'll be looking back on it, and if you're thinking, nah, that's a big howler from me. He was obviously he had that decision with Jamie Vardy. Obviously, we got that, but I think there was no reason for Ramsdale to come out for that either. But just touching on the man of the match performance, I think you have to give it to Gabriel Jesus because yeah, the boy's on fire, and yeah, I think Arsenal are going to right places right now.
Absolutely. Umar, your prediction for Gabriel Jesus to get the golden bit is up and running. Are you even more confident now?
I am Bailey. Haaland's blanked against Bournemouth. Gabby Jesus has scored 2 goals against Leicester City. Pep Guardiola's probably back on the phone. Gabriel Jesus, I need you back, but sorry, boys, he's an Arsenal player.
He's an Arsenal player, and I'm sure he'll be an Arsenal player for a long time as well. He should be an excellent number nine. It's good to see a number nine for Arsenal who you can depend on and trust on, and you know he's of world class ability. I don't think there's any doubt in that whatsoever. But guys, we are going to end the match reaction show there. Umar, as always, mate, thank you for jumping on. Our record together this season is 100%. So let's hope this continues.
Yeah, definitely. All the boys are TC, Chris, you need to stay off. Let me and Bailey just deal with the match reaction streams. But yeah, no, always a pleasure, Bailey.
Always a pleasure. Guys, if you like the show, of course, and you've loved the Arsenal performance, make sure to drop a like and then, of course, subscribe to the channels. We'll be having many more videos, of course, and we'll be talking about the game in more depth from Monday onwards when we do the Arsenal Agenda show. So make sure you subscribe to the channel for that. Guys, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for tuning in. Most importantly, and all importantly, make sure you keep following us down the Arsenal way.